and then we can study and explore the entire quantum realm. Never even have to go.
Your daughter built a subatomic Hubble telescope in a basement.
Goodbye, Benny.
When it comes to good movies, the key reason any of them work in the first place is the way that they manage to place us in the audience into the world that they're trying to immerse us in. This ability certainly comes in handy at the end of a long day, giving us the means to momentarily escape the common struggles of everyday life by getting our attention through the art of storytelling. Needless to say, when done well, sometimes the audience can get everything they want out of the experience. Yet somehow, when done poorly, as of 2023, apparently you can end up with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, a film bloated with so much mind-numbing CGI that it could make the Phase 4's Mother's Day of Madness blush. It's a film that tries to appeal to everyone, everywhere, all at once. And in order to do that, it must give every person that ever exists a lukewarm serving of what they want, due to its failure to commit to any particular niche audience whatsoever. This lukewarm dish of a film is certainly watchable, but by no means is this a film that should ever be considered worth watching in the first place. This is a film that simultaneously tries to appeal to what I imagine are 8-year-olds, 25 to 35-something-year-olds, even older Marvel fans who read the original comics once upon a time, and most importantly, the woke SJW activists who believe every teenage girl is a super genius capable of building science fiction level technology hundreds if not thousands of years beyond our time. But does it actually succeed at hitting any of these targets? Well, let's find out, shall we? Keep in mind, the modern standard for teenage girls in Marvel now has gone up so high that creating Stark Tech level technology is simply no big deal anymore. And that's exactly how this film starts when Ant-Man's SJW daughter does precisely that. In her basement, in her spare time, for the hell of it. Without any multi-million-dollar funding available, education on this matter whatsoever, any genius plot armor, or decades of experience doing any of this to back her. She just does it, okay? 'Cause in the Marvel Universe, girls like these simply must exist, and therefore, their overnight technological achievements must exist as well. See, right about here at the very beginning of the film is where you should just turn off your brain and just go with it. Or, alternatively, just come out of the misogynist closet already if you so much as doubt these ladies' completely logicless, ass-pulled abilities for 1 second. What's the matter? Don't want to be that person? Then get ready to turn off your brain and follow me into the visually exhausting CGI depths of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. First things first, the plot. This won't take long. Scott's an author, and his daughter is now a full-time social justice warrior who occasionally uses an Ant-Man suit of her own to peacefully protest in her spare time and even shrink cop cars down into mere toys for the hell of it. Because ACAB, right, Disney? Wow, what a way to start off your film, Disney. Preaching the woke gospel right out of the gate with this one, aren't we? Anyways, when Anti-Police Girl isn't shrinking cop cars, it turns out she's casually building far beyond nanoscopic satellites capable of communicating with the quantum realm itself. Right, because of course she can. Is she Shuri, or Shuri's exact clone of a character Ironheart? Nope. She's just a girl with an Ant-Man suit she borrowed and some spare time. Get on board this logic train now or be left behind because the plot is moving full steam ahead on this one. It does this by having anti-establishment girl turn on her own machine, panic when it does what the writers told us it's supposed to do, and immediately turns it off. But oh no, the literal plot device turns back on and sucks everyone in the room into the quantum realm. Down there, Jan explains that she accidentally helped a marooned man named Kang restore his ship because she simply assumed he was a decent guy. She explains he's incredibly dangerous, has taken over the entirety of the quantum realm, and must not be allowed to escape at all costs, since his goal is to take over the multiverse as well. Don't you just love the same regurgitated high stakes as the last few Marvel films being up for grabs again? Isn't this not at all like being force-fed an entire chocolate cake all over again simply because the writers over at Marvel have nothing original to offer up as a consequence for losing anymore at this point? How many more times exactly are we going to hear that the very multiverse itself is at stake all over again in the future? My guess? Too many times. Far, far too many times. But whatever. In order to save the multiverse, Kang's ship must not ever get repaired, and he must stay in the quantum realm at all costs. And that's it. That's the plot. Anyways, after an overwhelming amount of CGI garbage happens on the screen for the rest of the film, MODOK is introduced. Simply for laughs. All the way until his death, he is literally laughed off screen and into the void as his minion-like butt is shown, so everyone can laugh. And so he can label himself an Avenger before passing away, as everyone collectively contains their laughter at the prospect of this as he dies. No, seriously, this happens. And yeah, for some reason, he was salvaged and made during the supposed death of Yellowjacket from the previous films in order to make this happen and give us this character. Honestly, was it worth it, Disney? Was anything to do with this character worth it? The film itself could have moved along with a much more welcome, serious tone without this character. Yet for some reason, Disney Marvel is clearly under the belief that if movies aren't as meaningless or as humorless as Thor: Love and Thunder, or even She-Hulk for that matter, then clearly the audience might accidentally walk away feeling something for once, like Infinity War once did when the villain actually won. So, can anything happen here? Will we be allowed to feel anything in this film other than regret? Absolutely not. The reason for this is simple. Not only does the supposed next biggest threat comparable to Thanos lose here, but one of his most powerful and unforgiving variants to exist loses fairly easily here despite bragging of killing countless Avengers in the past. However, despite the boasting of his past accomplishments before his being banished to the quantum realm, in the very next scene he promptly gets his ass handed to him by literal ants. And even worse, is eventually killed off despite being the only Kang that even matters at this point in the MCU. Anyways, after his defeat, for a moment the writers let you believe that there might be some consequences to defeating Kang, by letting us believe that in order to defeat him, Scott and Hope might be trapped in the quantum realm now, having made the ultimate sacrifice for the greater good. But nope, there's no sacrifices here. No seriousness to walk away with, because another portal straight to Scott's family opens right back up and everyone goes home like nothing ever happened at all. And that's exactly how you'll feel when leaving the theater after watching this film, asking yourself if any of it even needed to happen at all. Was there any point in watching a film that in the grand scheme of things throws away such a grand villain for this complete waste of a movie? Where nothing changes and where the MCU's current biggest threat is torn to pieces and swept under the rug like he never mattered compared to the likes of this SJW's family and pet ants? Sheesh, I hate to say it, but I've never found myself rooting for the villain over the heroes more than I have in this film. Honestly, at this point in the MCU, if characters like Quicksilver are so easily tossed aside, why the hell couldn't we let Ant-Man finally get squished for this film? A small hero like him is actually perfect to sacrifice first to the greatness of Kang. As it was with Thanos, if any hero were to be the first domino to fall like Gamora, Black Widow, Vision, Captain America, Iron Man, and old Hulk being traded for this utterly worthless character, if any heroes were to be lost to build up the threat that is Kang the Conqueror, who's supposed to rival Thanos in the current MCU, I see no reason why Scott shouldn't have been ended here as a character, and used as a means to bring back some much needed seriousness to the MCU over this kids' meal of a film with absolutely nothing to say about anything, or in other words, a film that's clearly only meant to appeal to those in an age group consisting of a single digit. Anyways, I hope you guys like this review, so feel free to comment down below and let me know what movie you'd like me to review next. Whether it's good, or whether it's the teenage SJW quantum physicist calling no one's favorite villain a dick, remember, I'll fucking judge.
Holy, that guy looks like broccoli.
Bad news, friend. It's not gonna happen. I'm sorry if there's a misunderstanding. It's not the end of the world, just go away. Go inside and I'm gonna get a shovel.